So I'm going to what are polyatomic ions. What polyatomic ions simply means is like compounds that have more than one atom together with it. For example, one nitrogen atom may come together with like 3 oxygen atom. That's a polyatomic ion because it has more than one atom connected to it, right? Forms a kind of clump, a group, and this comes together and forms a charge. So what's the difference between a polyatomic ion and a regular ion? Well, for example, let's take lithium. Lithium is an ion. When lithium becomes an ion, it loses 1 electron, so it becomes +1, right? It loses 1 and becomes +1. You notice that lithium is just 1. A polyatomic ion is like NO3 minus. That means these both things become an ion. Just like just one thing become an ion, both things become an ion. So these things are clumped together. They act like one element. This is one element, but this is not one element. But this whole thing forms a negative charge and can be treated like one element. So lithium is one, let's say boron. When boron becomes an ion, it has a +3 charge. Nitrogen has a -3 charge. Nitrogen oxide 3 has a one negative charge. So you see the difference. One, this is many. This has 2. This is one element forming a charge. This is 2 elements forming a charge. So you have something like calcium nitrate, and you have to write formulas for that. Then first you look at calcium. We know calcium is a 1. Is one element. And we know that nitrate is not one element. Nitrate. This is not one element. This is not the same as nitrogen. Nitrogen is once you see the word RT, that means it's formed or ion already. This means it's an ion, so you already know it's not nitrogen. But calcium is one element. So calcium, you look at the table, calcium is Ca. And what's the charge on calcium? Calcium forms an ion, it has a +2 charge. So you have a +2 charge. Now nitrogen is something you have to memorize. You have to have a table. On the table, it tells you what the charge is. So in nitrogen is written as NO3 minus. That's how it's written. You have to know that. This is something you have to memorize. So when you write in nitrogen, that's NO3 minus. It has a 1 minus charge to it. Now we have to balance this equation. So now that we put the charges on top of it, we have to balance the charges. Now be careful. This 3 here is not the amount of, like this, I say NO3 2 minus 1. This is already written. This has already been done, right? This whole thing is the compound you're talking about. This is the whole polyatomic compound. This is not -1 for each one, right? This is NO3 has a -1 charge. This one NO3 has a -1 charge. This is one calcium with a +2 charge. So you have to balance these charges here. So you have one NO3 with a -1 charge. So if this has 2, then you have to have another NO3 negative charge. And then you have 1 and 1 will give you 2. And that would balance out the calcium 2+. So in the end, you write calcium NO3 in brackets, and then you write 2. So it takes 2 NO3 to make 1 calcium for it to balance. Because when you're balancing ionic compounds, this is ionic compound, you have to balance the charges. So he has -1 charge, he has a 2 charge. This 3 is part of the 1 charge. It takes, right? So you just have to have 2 1 NO3 and it would balance it. So you write NO3 in brackets, 2 outside. So you get CaNO3, 2. Let's do ammonium nitride. So ammonium, first of all, ammonium is not on the periodic table. Okay, so here look at this. Two other polyatomic ions. So ammonium. So you're not going to find ammonium on the periodic table, so you should look periodic table because ammonium is a polyatomic ion. It has many elements connected. So this, you have to look at the polyatomic table. You have to memorize it, and you will know that ammonium, the symbol for ammonium nitrate, the ion for ammonium nitrate is NH4 plus 1 plus. That's something you have to know, memorize. Ammonium is NH4 1 plus. Now nitrate is actually on the periodic table. It on the polyatomic has nitrite and nitrate. Nitride is actually on the periodic table. It's actually here. It's actually an ion. It's actually nitrogen when it becomes an ion. Now you might get confused and say, well, why is it not on the periodic? Why is it not on the polyatomic table? It's something that has to be memorized. So this is on the table. Nitrate is nitrogen. So it has a charge of 3 minus. So now you want to balance. This whole thing is 1. This whole thing is 1. You need to balance the charges. So you need, if nitrogen gives you 3, then you need 3 ammonium, 3 nitrogen. You need 3 nitrogen to balance. Right, so in order to balance the charges, you would need, this is 1, this is 3, so in order to balance the charge, you would need 3 ammonium. So you need 1 ammonium, give you 1 charge, plus 2 ammonium, plus 3 ammoniums would have 1 plus charge. These 3 give you a charge of 3 plus, and this 1 nitrogen, 1 and 3 will give you a charge of 3 minus. So now the charge is balanced. So that means that you need NH4. You need 3 of these to balance the 1 nitrogen. And that's it. So let's look at this one, ammonium phosphate. These both are both polyatomic ions. So you have to look at the chart. Ammonium is NH4 plus 1 plus, and phosphate is PO4 3 minus. That's how it's gonna, when it becomes a charge, it will have a negative charge. So now you just balance the charges. You don't worry about this, the amount. This means that it's balanced. This means that this amount is to give you that charge. So to balance this whole thing amount, you have 3, you have 1 here. So that means you will need 3 of this. 1, 2, 3. That has 1 charge each. This will give you a total of 3 plus. And this has 1 of this, will give you a charge of 3 negative. So now they balance. So you need 3 of these. So you need 3 NH4 for 1 phosphorus.